Welcome LMS staff. I wanted to do a little different screencast-o-matic this year, explaining some of the stuff that, quite frankly, I don't want to take time to explain when we meet in person. So welcome to the 21-22 school year. Our kind of motto here is dreams don't work unless you do, and our focus district-wide this year is going to be on Kagan. We did one Kagan day last year, so for the new staff that has not done that yet, we will get you to a training this year for day one. And then the other point of emphasis this year for our district is PBL, and specifically at the middle school, we're going to continue last year's Hacking PBL book discussion and study that we've done as a staff. New staff, I will get you one of those books ASAP. Our mission statement here is reach and inspire every student by providing real-world experiences, developing self-thinkers, and promoting a positive team culture. Just want to highlight some calendar dates. The email Marty sent out a while ago dictated what we were going to do with respect to PD days. August 16th, I want to highlight open house from 5:30 to 6:30. Different than in the past. For the middle school teachers that have been here before, this open house will coincide with the grade school's open house, 5:30 to 6:30 as well. It'll just be a come and go venue for our students and our parents, where they can come find their lockers, walk up and down the halls and see their classrooms, see their teachers, etc. If you have kids in other buildings that have a open house going on at the same time, I understand, but if you could communicate that with me or be here for a little bit of the time, that would be appreciated. August 11th, new teacher induction, 8 to noon in the central office, and then the principals will meet with you for a little bit after that. 12th and 13th, Kagan training. This is an all-day thing. The 16th, district-wide convocation, followed by, I'll take about from 9:30 to 12 or 12:30. The rest of that day on the 16th will be yours for hallway meetings, content level meetings, what have you. And then on the 17th, there's a complete teacher work day. I'll stay out of your business that day so we can get ready for the best day of the year, and that's the 18th, the day that we welcome students back to our buildings. This is a schedule. I've shared all these with you. If you don't have this, I just wanted you to see this so you're aware of what other teachers are doing, how that coincides with what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it. The flex lunch time, we'll talk about that when we meet as a staff with respect to what you want the first 3 days to look like, and then how we want to get kids enrolled in their flex lunches, and then what you want to do as far as offer our kids during those times. Evaluations, this is just the general state evaluation guidelines and steps. This is our 4-element evaluation that all of you have had, or that I've shared with all of you, so you should have that. If there's any questions on that, be sure and reach out. The self and formal is the same thing. Going back to walkthroughs, we've made a few changes with respect to the walkthroughs, and these are just some of the 5-minute stop-ins that I try to make. Do a better job in the fall than I do in the spring of this, but we've added Kagan structures here, and then we've added some student engagement and teacher engagement as far as actively engaged or content, or active or passive engagement with respect to content. But most of the rest looks similar to what you've been used to in the past. Home base, I believe I've shared this with you as well, the home based activities, and I'll share this presentation with you, that way you can have all the links of the documents here as well. This is up for discussion. We can discuss this as well, what each day is defined by. Some non-negotiables that I want to do this year are Balavistics with the kids, and we'll have a little bit of a training on that day together as a staff with respect to what Balavistics is. and how that can help our kids. And then I've ordered every kid and every staff member a book by Josh Medcalf called Pound the Stone. I've ordered staff members the training manual to go along with this, and we will go through this. This will be a building-wide event that happens during home base, that we will read a chapter of Pound the Stone, one chapter a week. They're 2 to 3 pages, stories that are followed by some critical thinking questions that you can just use as discussion with your class. Hopefully get kids to think about resiliency, grit, that your actions do matter, things of that nature. I'll share the Pound the Stone PDF with you. You'll have a book, so if you want to put it up on the screen for the kids, every kid has a book as well, and I think that's important for kids to be able to hold that book and feel it. The cell phone policy change this year, I want you to be cognizant and aware of. A couple years ago, I got everybody one of those shoe holders that you put on the back of your doors, a purple and gold one. So if you don't have one of those, you might reach out to me, and then that way I can get you one before the end of the year. I'm really going to hit hard on this. The kids need to, if they have a cell phone, they need to put that during home base in your appropriate place, wherever that might be. I would suggest you probably put that on the back of your office door, and then close your office door for the remainder of the day, and then that way we won't have as many devices and things like that, or issues with devices, or kids saying that they have, their device has been messed with or something of that nature. This is going to be a really big one, and we're all going to have to be on the same page. I would assume the first 3 or 4 weeks, if we hammer this and hammer it and hammer it, then the kids will be used to it. The parents are the ones that are going to not like it, but I've seen too much as well, I'm sure as you have also, with respect to the distraction that the cell phones create. I'm going to need your help as well with respect to the use of cell phones around students, and the appropriate use of cell phones. And I realize we're professionals, but if we're asking kids to not be on their cell phones, I think that's a pretty good, reasonable expectation for us as well. I understand life happens, and with kids as well, if they communicate with you, we can take it on a case-by-case basis. However, this is going to be a huge issue that I want to have as a focus point. And so if you need one of those little shoe holders that we can put the phones in, get in contact with me, and I will get you one. Drug testing policy, we're going to go over this in just a minute, but if you want to actively participate in any activity 7 through 12, there's a new drug testing policy that parents have to opt in on, and this is, I believe, about 10% of the student population that has to that will be tested every month. 10% of the students that participate in activities. If you don't want to do this and the parent chooses to opt out, then that's fine. Their kid can still come to school, but they're going to be asked to leave immediately after. They won't be allowed on campus for any activity or CASHA sponsored or school sponsored. Eligibility, we've got plans of improvement. Eligibility is Monday to Monday. If a kid's ineligible for you, if they have a D or an F, we ask that you put this plan together for them, what coursework they're missing, what objectives, and then they'll need to take this and get signatures on it. Flex lunch, Wednesday I'd like to meet with 5th grade during Flex 1 in the library, Tuesday with the 6th grade, and then Thursday with the 6th grade, and then Friday I'll meet with 7-8 in the Commons during Flex 1. We will finish discussing what we want Flex lunch to look like for the first 3 days, and until we get all the kids scheduled in their appropriate flexes. We'll have that discussion when we meet as a staff. iPads, right now the tech department is planning on having all 5 through 8 iPads in student lockers. 7th graders will be the only ones that get chargers because 7th and 8th graders from last year, most of them receive chargers or have devices that can charge their iPads at home. 5, 6, you'll have a classroom charging station that kids will put their iPads in there. Assessments, FastBridge, I just want this on your radar. FastBridge, Fall and Spring, A Reading, A Math, and Sabers. iReady, Diagnostic, Fall and Spring, and then of course the state assessment in the spring. Safe Schools. Andrew sent out an email about this. Make sure you complete this by the end of September. There's some training modules on there, some videos of varying lengths, and some questions that you have to answer. The green, yellow, red card, positive office referrals, and then discipline referrals, we're going to all smelt into one thing, and I'll explain that a little bit more when we meet in person. This is a Staff Member of the Month award I've shared with you. We'll do that as a shout out for staff members, and this is for any staff member. Leave and APTA, everything's discretionary this year, so the only thing you need to do if you are going to be gone is put leave in, pick discretionary, make sure you comment with the time that you are going to be gone, and then just make sure you prove it with the principal and the secretary with respect to ensuring that we can get coverage for you. Some last minutia, just a heads up, start thinking about your personalized PD days, those content days. ELA is going to be focused on curriculum adoption for looking into that for this year, for next year, and studying that just like math did last year. Drink coffee, there's coffee fund. The courtesy flower fund is just a thing if somebody gets sick or somebody's relative passes away. That's a way that we can gain some funds to send some flowers to the family. Faculty Christmas basketball game, if you don't know what that is, ask somebody around you. Something that we do every year before Christmas. ASAP calendar, be sure you sign up for this. It'll be a calendar in the office where you can help Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And ASAP from 3:30 to 4:30 is kind of a little mentoring time for our kids who are struggling with their grades. I've got a link here for Southwest Plains PD that they have scheduled this year, and then a copy of the negotiated agreement for this year. And with that, I'll leave you with this. Vision not showed is just words on paper. Here's a pretty good little video.
One of my greatest challenges in life is that I'm a competitive freak. Ever since I was a tiny little kid, I was obsessed with winning. And while that has some benefits in certain areas of life, one of the biggest lessons I've had to learn in my life is that the ultimate illusion of the human experience is control. And what we really need to do is we need to surrender the outcome. The guy that you want beside you in battle is the guy that has surrendered the outcome. Surrendered to the fact that he might die. The person who has the greatest chance of not dying is the person that surrendered the outcome. The person who has the greatest chance of succeeding is the person that has surrendered the outcome. Because when you surrender the outcome, then you're actually freed up to be in the moment, to be able to allow your training to come through, to give your very best. Because it's just like trying to squeeze water in your hand. If you're trying to hold on to that too tightly, then all you do is you just push it all out, and you end up with almost nothing. The ultimate illusion of the human experience is control. The person that you want beside you in battle, the person that you want beside you in any endeavor, is the person that has surrendered that which is outside of their control. This doesn't mean that we don't give our very, very best. It doesn't mean that we don't control the controllables. Of course, we give our very best. We control all the stuff that's inside of our control. But we have to surrender the outcome. It's so tough for me, man. Most mornings I have to pray and surrender stuff that I desperately want to control. But I know that's outside of my control. My job is to control the controllables. It's to give my very best. It's to operate with a heart posture of gratitude and surrender the outcome. And if I do that, then I may not like the outcome, but that actually gives me the greatest chance of succeeding at the things that I'm doing. My hope for you is that you will learn to surrender the outcome, control the controllables, and operate with a heart posture of gratitude. Love y'all.
I think that's a good message from Joshua Medcalf, the author of Pound the Stone. Again, I'm excited about this year. I encourage you, just as he had said in the video, be in the moment, be in your shoes, enjoy the process, surrender what's outside your control, and then finally do what you can with what you have where you are. I'm extremely excited to see the impact that you will have on all our students here at LMS this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the coming weeks. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Thanks.